Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. It is a beautiful sunny day today. It's been such a long time since I've seen the sun. Sure feels good. Ever since I moved the tropical trees into the plant room here, I've been watching this little spider, and it's been getting larger and larger through the months. And last night, it didn't rebuild its web, and I was very worried about it. It used to have a web kind of between my ficus here and this cord, and the web was all kind of destroyed by insects. It catches all my insects, and I was so worried about it. I thought, where's the spider gone? I hope it didn't die or something. And then this morning, it rebuilt the web just under the UFO light here. I hope you can see it there. There it is, a really nice web. So that's so good. It'll catch a lot of insects under there. So I was so happy to see my spiders alive and doing well in a perfect location, still catching lots of insects, helping me out in the plant room here. So there is a tree missing today in the plant room. Right down there, it is my money tree. I've moved it out to the greenhouse, and today I'll be repotting it and doing some work on it. I'm out in the greenhouse now. Let's have a look at the money tree. Here is a look at my money tree. It's growing really well. It looks healthy. It's thickening up. It's getting nice movement to the trunk and branches. It's developing quite nicely. I can't remember the last time I repotted it, so I'll go in and I'll check the playlist for this tree and kind of refresh my memory on what I last did to it and when. I went inside and I checked the playlist for this tree, and I had to go back to the very first video on the playlist, and that's where I initially potted up this cutting, and I haven't repotted it since, and that was back in June of 2016. So this tree hasn't been repotted for almost 6 years now. Oh my goodness. So you can see on here there's a large root that's developed on the one side. So there may be some root balancing required. There's another root that kind of crosses that root, kind of like a strangler root there. So yeah, it's well overdue for repotting. The pot that this tree is in, I got it very cheap because it had some slight hairline cracks down here, and I think on the back side too. The pot is still strong. It probably will never break apart, but it's not the greatest looking pot in the world because of those cracks in it. But I think it'll be fine. I'm going to put it back into the same pot. We had a cold night last night. It went down to minus 11 Celsius, or in Fahrenheit, that's 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So quite a cool night, but the greenhouse stayed above freezing, which is really good. I had to put both heaters on at night. So the little cube heater down here, and the radiator style heater stays on all the time. So yeah, this one, it makes a lot of noise. But it puts out a good amount of heat. So I just have to turn it off when I'm making videos. So it gets quite cool in here. Right now it's sitting at around 10 degrees Celsius. When is that in? Well, this one says up here it's 13.9 degrees Celsius or 56.9 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, it's quite cool in here. My first step is to get the tree out of the pot. And yes, that's snow back here. The tray was outside, so it's kind of cold warming up. All right, let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can get it out of the pot. Oh, it comes out quite easily. Well, it's loose anyway. Okay, come on. I guess there's a bit of a lip on the pot. There we go. Move it forward a bit. Oh, I don't know. Looks like the root system is pretty one-sided here. Come on, come on. There it goes. Yeah, I think if I come around here, you can see there's hardly any roots have grown on this side. It's all grown And that one kind of taproot there. Well, that's not the greatest, but that's the way these trees are. They don't get very many roots. They're kind of like a very meager root system. I'll begin to comb out the root system, what there is of a root system anyway. Now, in the first video, I said I buried the tree a little deeper in the pot, just to make sure it kind of got all the roots in the soil. So I might be able to raise it a bit with this repotting, I don't know. There were a few dried up roots in the soil, so I'm wondering if it, like here, there's a dried up old root. You can see it's hollow inside. Yeah, I don't know when that happened. Maybe the tree was just too dry. Yeah, it looks like it's a little dry over this side. I don't know. Maybe all the energy just went into this one big root. These trees, if you do give them too much water, it kills the root system. Too little water probably kills them too. So you gotta be very careful with your watering. I was trying to be, but... So there's the base of the, I don't know if this is called a codex, or if it's a trunk. And there's my drainage screens down there. Yeah, a lot of kind of, some healthy roots and some not so healthy. I remember, yeah, look at those roots are really healthy. Interesting. Yeah, interesting. There's another drainage screen there. Yeah, so you can see there's the base of the cutting, and the root has just gone off to one side, and it's really quite thick. Interesting. It's almost like a ginseng root. Well, I think I've got most of the soil removed now, down to just kind of the bare roots. Okay. Well, I'll take away all the soil and we'll have a look and see what I'm left with here. So here's what the root system looks like. It's very one-sided. And it would be easy just to kind of plant it again in the pot and let it do its own thing. But, you know, we're trying to get a balanced root system. So I've got to do some root work today. Yeah, I've got to try. I don't want a root system that's looking like this, one-sided. I prefer kind of a radial root system if I can get it. Now, can I do it? How am I going to do it is the question. So I'm looking at this. I don't know if this is a crossing root or if it's just like a bulbous section. See how it's like a ring. It's a ring that goes all the way around. So I don't think it's a root that crosses this one. So my first thought is to remove this top root. Maybe, you know, these ones will take over and maybe some of the ones over on this side. I don't know. But this one is sticking out of the pot. It's getting way too thick and vigorous. And maybe removing this one will stimulate some root growth somewhere around the other side of the tree. It's worth a try anyway. All right, here I go to remove that root. And I think my Japanese saw is the tool for this one, because I think this is very soft wood. So here I go. I'm going to cut it on an angle like this. Yeah, this saw cuts really well through it. Like that. So that's removed and you can see where the root was. So that's the first step to hopefully beginning to balance the root system. So I've got two here. They're kind of radial, but this one is too low. So I'm thinking I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to cut it off here, leaving some of it. Another one back here. Like that. And then I'm going to cut this one off on an angle. I'll keep that root actually, and we'll... Like that. So now I've got some kind of a root system. At least it's flatter. Maybe something will develop on this side. We'll see. So I'm ready to plant the tree now. Here's a look at the one crack in the pot. So it goes across the top and down the pot to about here, and then it stops. And it was like that when I potted the tree 6 years ago. So I don't think it'll crack any further. There's another crack on the other side here. It again starts at the top, goes across the lip, down here, and ends about here. And it's never gotten any, the crack hasn't developed any further or anything. So I'm hoping it stays together because it's a nice size pot for the tree. I just did a video yesterday on cleaning pots, bonsai pots, getting them ready for shows. This one desperately needs cleaning. It's got calcium or lime all over it from the fertilizer and water. But today I'll just give it a good rinse off and then we'll get potting up the tree. I've rinsed the pot off. It's fairly clean. I'll cut some drainage screens. All right, in goes my base layer of soil. Now I gotta check what height I want the tree in the pot. So here, yeah, I think right to the bottom. So a very thin base layer of soil. And I'll plant the tree. So I think somewhere about here in the pot, I can fill it in with soil all around the trunk then. So here I go. I'll get some more soil around the back here, all around the tree, help hold it up. Okay, I'm going to check if the tree will stay up by itself. I don't think it will. Oh, it just does. I better put something on this side of it while this over here. Okay, that's good. There's always some kind of technique that works best for each species of tree. With the money tree, what I found is you let it grow, you get the branches get woody like this, and then you hard prune it back, and then you get sub-branching coming off of that. Let them grow, get woody, and hard prune them again. Just keep repeating that process, and eventually you get branching, and the tree starts to look pretty good. So today I'm going to be cutting all this top foliage back, trying to get it more compact. That'll make the tree lighter on top also, so it won't tip over in the pot quite so easily. I'm going to start by defoliating the tree, and then I can go in and see the branch structure. It'll ease the burden on the roots until they get established once again. I am starting to see the branch structure now. It's looking pretty good too. Okay, last leaf, and there it is. There's the tree. I may adjust the planting angle. I'm going to stand back and have a look at it. It was kind of hard to see how to plant the tree with all the leaves on. Here is a look at the tree in the pot, and you can see the trunk kind of comes off to the right, and all the weight is off to the right-hand side, almost like a slanting style tree. I think I should try and straighten it up so the balance of the canopy is more directly over the root base. I'll try it anyway, see how it looks. Okay, let's remove our pruners here. Yeah, I think I like the angle of it, like the rotational angle, but I think it needs some straightening up in the pot. Almost more like that. I think. Let me have a look. That's quite an angle change. But the tree is definitely more balanced. Yeah. It won't tip over in the pot now. It's very stable. Let's stand back and have a look at it. Here's a look at the tree now. A lot more vertical, quite a change for the tree. I like it though. I think it gives the bottom part of the trunk a little bit of movement. The tree looks very balanced in the pot. The only thing I'm thinking now is that this main trunk here maybe comes a little too far forward. I'll show you it from the side view. Here's a look at the tree in the side view. So I balanced the tree from the front view, and now I think I've got to balance it from the side view too. I think there's too much weight coming out the front of the tree here. So I'll tilt it back just a little bit. I think that looks better. It looks more balanced. Let's have a look at it from the front once again. Yeah, it looks better from the front. The tree looks very balanced from all views, which is kind of what you want in a lot of trees. It gives a peaceful look to the tree. It looks settled. If you have a tree off balance, it makes you start thinking about life and death of the tree, the forces of nature, the cruelty of nature. It's a different feeling. A tree that's really well balanced and has a nice canopy, it gives a peaceful feeling to the person viewing it because there's no dynamics happening. There's no a drama to the tree. It's just very settled and stable, which is a nice feeling. I am going to do some pruning to the tree. So you can see there's a leaf scar here. So if I wanted a branch to come out the front, I could prune it just above there. There's a leaf scar at the back at this level, and basically nothing else. On this branch at the back here, which is really tall and straight, I've got a leaf scar here, which is in a good spot. One at the back up here, and basically nothing else. So this is about my only choice, so I'll prune above there, leaving a bit for dieback. So here I go, like that. This one I'm going to prune here. The other two branches here, I want them fanning out also. So I've got a leaf that was coming out here or one here. I think this one is a more radial direction, so I'll prune above there. Like that. And then the one at the back, I want it fanning out the back, so I've got a good leaf here, so I'll prune just above that one. That way all the new branches that form in will be fanning out from the trunk. And that's, I think, about it for today, other than I have to water the tree. Here's a look at the tree after the pruning. It still looks quite nice. It looks very tree-like, and it's got some nice movement to it. It looks kind of like a miniature succulent type tree. So I'll give it a good thorough watering now. All right, here I go with the water. Hopefully the tree will like this new porous soil that I've got in here. And that is it. Here's the tree all potted up. I'll spin it around so you can see it from all angles. So here's the front view, coming around to the right side, to the back view, to the left side, and back to the front. So I think it's looking quite nice. I'm looking forward. Hopefully it recovers from this repotting and starts growing once again, and maybe someday be a really cool looking money tree. It seems like just yesterday that I was potting this tree up as a cutting. That was 6 years ago. Time sure has flown. So I'm hoping it recovers well from this repotting. Maybe starts developing a radial root system. I don't know. And that's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.